Hi, everyone. This is Rodney Liscano.
Okay, so one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me on stage. I was in a play called Unnecessary Farce.
Hi, I'm Albert Hand.
I think my most embarrassing moment on stage happened years ago when I did The Caretaker. I did Davies in The Caretaker for Paragon.
One of the very first professional productions I directed was Romeo and Juliet. This is back in 2002.
I think one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me didn't quite actually happen on stage, but it was in the theater. When you're doing a performance, you have obviously some off time that you're not on stage, and you are free to go to the green room or go back to your dressing room and listen to the play on the monitors until your cues are ready to come back up. And I think I just started a conversation with someone in the dressing room, and all of a sudden I heard my name come up on the monitor from the stage manager saying, "Rodney, please come to headset. Rodney, please come to headset." And I thought, I guess the stage manager needs to tell me something may have happened, couldn't get to another crew member to come talk to me. I knew where the headset was. And I roll along, go to the green room, side, put on my headset and say, "Hi, this is Rodney, what's going on?" And in the most quiet and timbre voice, she said, "You just missed your entrance." And I was mortified. I was absolutely mortified and embarrassed. And luckily, it was actually a scene where I just literally walked on, said one line, and walked off. The other actors were able to carry on as if I wasn't there. The action just kept on going. It wasn't a big deal, but I was mortified. I was mortified. I had never missed an entrance in my life. It's still to this day the most embarrassing thing I have ever done, because when I recount this, it's something I don't ever want anyone to know. It now is a fear of mine to miss an entrance. So I put in cues for myself and make sure I am there, hopefully, and prepared.
Won at a raffle of a walk-on part, a production of Christmas Carol this past Christmas. A Christmas Carol is all about Christmas, right? And I had one line, and that line occurs towards the end, and I say, "Good morning, sir, and a Merry Christmas to you." And then I go off stage. It's my one line, and we had, I think it was 32 performances of this, and for 30 of them, I said, "Good morning, sir, and a Merry Christmas to you." And off stage I went, and everything was fine. We did, however, have a couple of shows after Christmas, and off stage, Christmas was no longer in the air, New Year's was in the air. I come out and I say, "Good morning, sir, and Happy New Year to you." And Ebenezer Scrooge looked at me and went like, and said, "Oh, Happy New Year to you and a Merry Christmas also." And I walk off stage and I collapse, and Rebecca, the director, is there, and I collapse in the chair, and Rebecca says, "Albert, I heard." And I said, "Rebecca, one line. I've had like 30 performances of this, and one line, and I screwed it up." And she said, "Albert, you are now an actor. Welcome to the group." And that was it.
In this play, the stage is set up like two side-by-side motel rooms. The catch is there's no actual dividing wall. So the actors and the audience can see what's going on in both hotel rooms the whole time. And it's all about a sting operation gone awry. And I was playing a detective, and I was supposed to be watching a TV monitor to, spy and see what was happening in the next door hotel room, even though I could just turn my head and see. But the whole premise was that, we had this TV monitor in one room to spy on the other hotel room. And during this time, I hear this massive crash, and I completely break the world of the play, and I look over and I see that the entire stage left wall has fallen down onto the set. And the actor was just stunned, and he stood there, and the set happened to fall on him so that he was right in the doorway. So the whole set came down, and he was still standing up in the doorway. And because at that time, the acting company was still putting the set together at night and taking it down at night. We all knew how to build the set. He looked at the audience and he mouthed the words, 1 minute, and he ran back into the shop, got a drill and a couple screws, came back out, lifted the entire flat by himself and screwed it back onto the wall. This whole thing took about 4 minutes. I was laughing so hard. I had tears streaming down my face. The audience was going crazy. They loved it. And as soon as the wall was back up, we just continued on as if nothing had ever happened, telling the story. And that is one of the craziest things that has ever happened to me on stage.
The largest line load I've ever tackled in my life, ever. Josh kept looking at my script and saying, "Are you going to start working in those lines?" And I'd say, yeah, I'll be fine. Well, that summer, all I remember doing is just working on those lines with Josh helping me every single day. We finally got to preview, and the first preview, fortunately, there were only 4 people in the house. They were all Paragon people. And Warren and I entered, and then probably 45 seconds into my opening monologue, I just went blue sky. And I said to Warren, "Can we start over?" And he said, "What? Can we start over?" And he said, "Okay." So went backstage, and Jared, who wouldn't enter for quite a while, said, "What's going on?" I said, "Oh, we're starting over." I was absolutely certain I would never get through that night, but thank whatever theater gods may be, I made it through those 3 acts. And the very next night we opened, and Davies ended up being one of the favorite roles I've ever played.
My dear friend Gloria was playing Juliet. This was a preview performance. I'm back in the back of the house taking notes. Everything's going really well. It's the last scene. Romeo takes the poison. He dies. Juliet wakes up. Everything's great. Sees Romeo. He's dead. Oh no. She goes to pull the happy dagger from Romeo, and she can't find it. It's not there. Turns out it had fallen sort of off the set as he had been coming down the stairs to the tomb. But of course she didn't know that. And she told me after the fact she had this thought of, maybe I'll like take the belt off of Romeo and strangle myself with it. She handled it so well. She actually found Paris's dagger, because Paris is lying on the other side of the stage dead, and found it and continued on. But my heart and hers, and I think most people who were watching and who were backstage, our hearts definitely skipped several beats in that probably 12 seconds of onstage catastrophe.